Hello again, everyone. So today, as you can tell by the shirt, I got something in this morning and I was like, am I hungry or do I want to open this Nendoroid? And I decided on Nendoroid over food, which figures over food is a commonplace in my life nowadays. But anyway, I'm super excited for Nendoroid 1966 FF from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. Funny enough, they like anything with JoJo, they have to kind of be careful with copyright, and so the English dub and the English releases, even with the subtitles, they change the names. Well, FF is short for Foo Fighters, which they can't really call it that because of copyright over here in the US. But I would have thought that they would have gone with just calling her FF for the figure, but they actually call her Foo F. So I think that was a weird choice in my book. But yeah, they have to use like a lot of different, like, I guess they have to get around some of them because we're getting into, I mean, in part 6, a lot of the main cast have names associated with music in the US. Where the Nendoroids before weren't really didn't have a whole lot of that going on. Most of the time it just stayed with stands. But then again, FF is kind of like a hybrid stand, where she basically is plankton, or, you know, a horde of plankton possessing a dead girl's body. But she is my favorite out of Stone Ocean. And she actually is pretty high on my list of JoJo favorites. But I was super excited. I did get the base. It looks it's kind of like a weird, like, bluish green. Like, I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's blue. But then you put next to something blue and it's like, it doesn't really look blue. But then you put it next to something green and it's blue. So I will be using this for something different, probably. I did get a purple one when I got Toru, and I'm probably going to use that with Kana when she comes in. But I have my signed base from the English voice actress, and I did order it from Good Smile Global, so I did get the bonus base. I mean, not the bonus base, but the bonus, which is the mitt. I don't know if that actually comes with the ball or not. Hermes may come with the ball, but I didn't pre-order Hermes. Her pre-order bonus was the cuff, and I just was kind of like, you know, I'm just gonna go with FF for right now, and if I, you know, find her for a good price, I might pick her up. I just don't have a whole lot of room left. Anyways, getting into the box, like any other JoJo box, it has the, like, the ora designs on the white. It's always a good indicator that you do have an authentic Nendoroid when it comes to JoJo Nendoroids, that they do have that design. So anytime somebody's selling one and you can't see that, you could ask them to, like, take a picture with the light. Because see, the green parts have more of the Jolene tattoo design on them. But see, it's a very good indicator because all the bootlegs I've seen are just straight up just the color. So if you know, you don't have to necessarily worry about sticker or no sticker. It's all that goodness in it. But it really does make the box more collectible. And in the front you have the Stone Ocean logo and the Metaclass. I'm a little nervous because I am still excited, but Metaclass, if you've been watching some of my videos before, the JoJo Nendoroids are a hit or miss a lot of times. So some of them come out and they're like the greatest Nendoroids ever. Like the Joseph Joestar is amazing. But then others come out and you can tell that they were kind of rushed, or it was kind of like pushed off to the side. Nothing like the Mary that I got. Let's cross our fingers and, well, knock on wood. But yeah, I'm super excited to open this. So let's go ahead and do it to it, shall we?
All right, so here she is. You got the main Nendoroid body. Then, of course, you have two faces. You have the kind of you have the action face, which every JoJo Nendoroid comes with. And then you also have kind of like the happier, silly, happy face that's kind of more toward FF's personality. Because that's kind of what I've noticed, at least the majority of the JoJo Nendoroids. They most of the time have either... They have a default face, an action face, and then there's one face that has kind of more of the Nendoroid, the character's personality. So when your character has a little bit more personality to them, or a little bit more of a silly side, I think it kind of comes out more in their Nendoroid releases than some of the others. Now, the funny thing about this is, so you have the hands, you have a little gun hand, which is really cool, and of course she has her water. She has to have her water. And then you have this effect piece. I actually bought an effect piece to go with her before I saw that there was an effect piece for it. So yeah, I have like a black effect part, I guess. And I could still use it. But this is probably better as far as like for the shooting. The weird thing I just kind of thought about, I was like, the plankton, it's kind of cool that they include the plankton in there, but the plankton is huge. Like I don't know why, but I was not expecting it to be this big. It's way out of scale, which is really crazy. Because you would think that if they were going to do something like that, they'd have like maybe like a torso part of the bigger version or the collective version of Foo Fighter that you see in her first appearance. But they did one of the small little plankton that she's made up of. And I just think it's really wild how big it is. It's like, it could be like her pet. It's still good to have, and I'll still have it, but I don't know if I'll display it somewhere, but I don't know if I'll display it with her. But anyways, enough of the chatter and stalling. Let's go ahead and get into her and put her in a couple poses. So here is the first pose I put her in today. I thought I'd save the surprise pose or the happy pose for the bonus. It does come with the ball. The ball is super duper tiny. In scale, yes. But like when I was filling the bag, I was like, oh, I guess it doesn't come with the ball. But yeah, it's just really tiny. So just be very super careful about losing that. She did come with her fist, which I've noticed that most of your JoJo Bizarre Adventure Nendoroids default come with the fist in the box. She does have two hands that are the palm out. There's one with a finger that is in the shape of the gun, and then there's a finger pointing hand. I don't understand why the finger pointing hand was done for the special effects part when that happens when she has the gun hand. But can't really complain about that. Thus far, I'm really liking her Nendoroid. The only problem I see straight out of the box that I thought I'd tell y'all, the Nendoroids, I guess it's partly due to the fact that she has the jail logo on her back, and they didn't want to mess that up. So what they did is put it lower. But I think most JoJo Nendoroids have a tendency to do that because they have, most of the time some of them have like a swivel up here. And so like the Joseph one has like a swivel up near his chest. This one does not. She doesn't have a swivel, but I think that they improved, in my opinion, on the female Nendoroid. She feels more solid holding on to her than Jolene's did. And I'm really surprised about how the head sculpt came out. I mean, like, it's a simple head sculpt, but sometimes Good Smile Company has had issues with having, like, I mean, not just Good Smile Company, just Nendoroids in general have a history of having seen really bad seam lines lately. Like, thinking of JoJo ones, Narancia comes to mind, where you saw the seam lines were very apparent and they didn't put them in places where they were easily hidden. But yeah, super duper cute. I mean, she's a simple Nendoroid. I mean simple design, but like I think she looks great. The drink also had the straw is turnable, so you can actually turn the straw to put it closer to her mouth. So I thought that was really cool. It did come with a regular base, and then it comes with, like, I guess the support base or an extra base for the special effects, in case you wanted to push it out further. Because I guess if you use a standard base, you really don't need this, but I like that they include that. Just in case you don't use the standard base. Anyways, that is the first pose. I'm going to go ahead and put her in an action pose next. Okay, here she is in her second pose of the day. I'm actually liking this a lot better than I thought I did. It actually looks really good from this angle that I'm videoing. I feel like the action poses, because, so something I didn't go over, so the JoJo Bizarre Adventure Nendoroids are action Nendoroids, so they're posable, so they don't come with as like many extra arms. A couple of them do, like my Narancia came with, well, it was his bonus piece, but it came with extended arms, where the most action Nendoroids do have like a joint that comes up and down, but the JoJo Bizarre Adventure Nendoroids are kind of like a hybrid. Like, they are action to a point, but they don't lift, the arm doesn't lift up and down, so you're kind of limited as far as like the angle of your action poses. This one does really good at like an angle. Like, it's not really good, I don't think it looks that great straight on, but like I said, from the side you don't get to see much of her face, so if you tilt it slightly, it has a tendency to look better. Like, right now it looks better from my view. Yeah. But yeah, it was really easy to put together. And I decided to do the actual finger gun and not the pointing finger, because I just think this looks better as far as the action, because that is actually how she shoots her plankton gun with that. Anyways, I also noticed that the plankton cannot stand on its own. It goes face down. So it has a little hole for the peg. So I'm just like, okay, so you either choose to pose her shooting her gun, or you choose to pose the plankton in some way, shape, or form. Now, if you have an extra, I really feel like they should have given you like an extra, at least one of those, for this purpose. But I mean, at this point, like, I probably have several I could find, if I chose to pose her like this. But I feel like I'm going to pose her in like a goofier fashion. Just because when JoJo characters are goofy, I have a tendency to want to pose them like that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead, and the next pose I'm going to incorporate the pre-order bonuses. So I'll be right back. All right, here we are with the last pose of the day with the pre-order bonus. I will say to be very careful with the ball. I didn't push it all the way in because it's a tight fit, because the hand is using the hand that that you hold the drink with, and it's not really designed for it to like do what it does. I think it was kind of like an afterthought. So just be very careful when doing that, because it might be hard getting it on and off. Another suggestion I have, the only issue that I really have with this Nendoroid is the hands were real hard getting them in. Now, putting back the default hands, it feels kind of loose, but it stays in. You don't have to worry about like if it's shaking around or not. It's just real easy to get in and out. I don't know how it's going to be after using this. It might be even a little bit looser. But I did notice that, and where these joints are nice, I felt this one starting to like warp a little bit, or like not really wanting to give with me. So what I did is I started taking the arms off and changing out the hands before putting the arms back in. It gives you a little bit more control. That way you don't end up damaging her by mistake. Other than that, I really, oh my gosh, like I absolutely am in love with her. Like, I love this Nendoroid. Another great one. And we needed another win after, we needed more than one win after the whole Mary incident. Now, the only thing, and the other thing I will complain about is the plankton. The plankton is huge. I mean, it's a cute idea, but they also, where they put the peg to go in, like, it kind of limits your posing options for him. Like, if you pose him in a certain way, he'll topple over, and you kind of have to pose him in the air. I mean, it's a cute idea, but I think it would have been better if they had like a part where it was like a school of plankton, like it was like a large amount of plankton, and they were all like, you know, they wouldn't even have to do that much with it. I just think that it's real odd to have like one of the plankton that's supposed to be real tiny and, you know, microscopic, and they've got it like huge size. It would have been cooler to have like a waist, like part of the combined form that they had, that Foo Fighter had, or FF, if you don't want to get in trouble. Anyways, I think that's it for today. Like I said, like if you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you like Foo Fighter, or you're kind of on the fence of who do I want, because like I want a little bit from each part, but sometimes you don't know who your favorite is. Sometimes, you know, you have many favorites, and you just want to make sure whatever Nendoroid you get, it's good quality. I would highly recommend her. I think that they've really improved since Jolene's release, because Jolene was the first female action Nendoroid that Metacost did for JoJo. Anyways, I might look out for, after seeing her, I might look out for a I can't remember her name off the top of my head. That's really bad. I mentioned her earlier. But Hermes, I might actually look for an Hermes now, or at least a review to see if Hermes turned out just as well as Foo Fighters did. Anyways, I guess leave a like, subscribe, and I guess let me know what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Nendoroid you'd like to see. I really hope that they go back and do some of the earlier parts. I would really like to see more out of part 4 other than the villain, because I really wasn't a fan of his, even though I know he's kind of a fan favorite. Is it Kita? Yeah, I think that's who it is. I'm not a huge fan of his. I'd actually like to see a couple more characters from part 4. And I really feel like they need to finish off the Egypt Egypt guys, since they did finish off all of part 5. But anyways, enough of the rambling. I'm going to go enjoy my Foo Fighters. Y'all have a good one. Later.